is going on, guys? KJ here, and today I am bringing you a FAMOC style review for a player that a lot of people have been asking me about, and that card is Flashback Connor McDavid. So Flashback Connor McDavid is a card that you can find now in the trading post in the sets menu. If you go all the way to the right, there will be new options for junior flashbacks from both silver and bronze collections. You will need to complete the entire Erie Otter collection in order to receive your Flashback Connor McDavid. Now you also can buy him off the market, but I do, myself like finishing off sets in this game. So to take a brief overview of Connor McDavid's card, he is of course a center. He boasts 3 very popular synergies. His card will range from about 60 to 100k, and of course he is a junior flashback card. Now the synergies on this junior flashback to me are what make this card so valuable. 3 of the most popular synergies in the game. We have 2 to speedsters, 1 to team wheel, and of course 2 to x-ray vision, a new synergy added with the expansion to the game. Of course, wrecking crew and x-ray vision are the 2 most popular synergies out of all the expansions. If you want to have x-ray vision active on your team, as well as a couple extra team synergies, Connor McDavid is a must for any team looking to activate multiple synergies, including x-ray vision. So now you may be thinking, well, the synergies on this card are absolutely great. The real question is, how does he play? So we are going to take a look at 5 areas and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. We are going to look at skating, shooting, puck skills, defense, as well as physical play. Getting into McDavid's skating stat, to say the least, without any synergies active, at best, he's pretty average. But when you do manage to activate team wheel or speedsters, it definitely gives him that boost he needs to put him in that above average category as far as skating goes. Now clearly a lot of his higher overall versions are going to be way better in the skating category, but because the synergies on this card are so good, it definitely makes up for the areas where he kind of has been knocked down in terms of stats. His skating and his shot have definitely been knocked down, and it's very noticeable. But when you have the synergies active, it makes up for that deduction in stats. So that being said, as far as skating goes, without any synergies active, I would most likely give him a 7 out of 10. But if you can get either team wheel or speedsters active, I would definitely bump him up to a 7.5 out of 10. Moving on to shooting. So once again, this is an area where McDavid's card has kind of been short, and it got the short end of the stick for sure. His shooting stats aren't exceptionally well, and one of the reasons why is because he has x-ray vision on, which gives him a +4 boost to both slap shot accuracy and wrist shot accuracy. Once you have that x-ray vision synergy active, you definitely notice that the card actually performs pretty well as far as shooting goes. Would I say that he shoots above average as well as the best snipers in the game? Not really, but for someone who can play more of a playmaker position a lot better, he definitely has a pretty average shot. So all in all, I would give him a 7 out of 10 for shooting, and I probably wouldn't bump that up as far as x-ray vision goes, just because I feel like one of the main catches to putting this card on your team specifically is to have x-ray vision active in and of itself. So I'm pretty sure that most of us who would put this card on our team would have that synergy active anyway. All right, getting into puck skills. This is probably McDavid's strongest category as far as natural stats goes, without receiving any boost to any of his handling stats at all. He definitely is highly skilled when it comes to puck skills, which is passing and deking. I do notice that for him especially, his passes always land. I never have any problem. I've rarely had errant passes to my forwards, or going for cross creases is a pretty high percentage as well. On top of that, his ability to deke is there. It's not that bad at all. Of course, we're always going to have some poorly timed dekes, but you definitely can chain multiple dekes in a row together without losing the puck. Now, he's no Patty Kane, but he definitely can hold up to other cards that have decent hands in this game. So all in all, I definitely would give McDavid a 8 out of 10 as far as puck skills go. He definitely has the hands to deke past defenders. On top of that, you know, it definitely helps him being a smaller guy and not having as much of a physical presence on the ice, that having those deking skills definitely helps him out, as well as being able to set up a lot of players and start putting some apples on the board. Very, very positive factor in his game. So he gets a solid 8 out of 10, definitely his best category. Heading into defense, this is McDavid's second weakest category, as to be expected for an 85 overall forward. Defense is definitely not going to be his strong suit, especially as a playmaker. The one area which he does excel at as far as defense goes is his stick checking. His poke checks and his stick lifts actually land quite often, and I do find it quite helpful, to be honest, especially for forechecking purposes. McDavid is extremely good at doing that, but playing defense in our own zone, I definitely find a lot of the time that his positioning is way out in some godforsaken area that he's never around when you need him. That being said, all in all, I would give him a 6 out of 10 as far as defense goes. He's not terrible. The stick checking definitely makes up for him being poor as far as physical play and positioning wise, but he's still not that great overall. And last but not least, we have the last category, which is physical play, which is to be expected to be Connor McDavid's weakest area. Now, I have to give him the benefit of the doubt here. He does play a little bit better than his stats indicate as far as physical goes, just because he is 6'1", 190. He is able to take some hits, and that's really the only area where he kind of excels at in physical play, is that his balance is pretty good, and because of the size of him, he can actually take some hits from some of the, you know, similar size opponents. But the real downside of the card comes down to raw physical play. He almost offers zero value in your own end. If you're trying to knock an opposing player off the puck, you can think again, because it's basically like hitting them with a feather. He'll just bounce off, or most of the time he just misses checks completely. He offers zero value whatsoever when it comes to actual physical play, but the bright side is that he can sometimes take hits while entering the offensive zone, which is not too bad. All in all, for physical play, I would give him a 5 out of 10. Definitely could be better. I mean, anything at that point, as far as he plays physically, could be better. So with all the ratings in, McDavid comes in at a solid 6.7 overall out of 10. Does this mean this card is a must-have? For skill-wise, I wouldn't say he's great on your team, but the real utility of this card, once again, comes down to his synergies. If you are looking for a card to put on your team to specifically activate Team Wheel and X-Ray Vision, this card is a great fourth line card for your team. He can play well, especially if he's only out there for a few minutes a period. Being a fourth line player, he'll always be able to give you the most bang for his buck. He isn't that expensive at the moment, which is good, and he really will help you activate both Team Wheel and X-Ray Vision. Would I recommend having this card on your team? If you want X-Ray Vision or Team Wheel active, I would definitely say this is a must-have card. Elsewise, you could probably pass on it. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like down below. I'd highly appreciate it if you haven't already. Feel free to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. My link is in the description. And as always, guys, take it easy.
Rocks on